The Galactic Council chamber gleamed with bioluminescent panels, casting an ethereal glow across the assembled delegates. Ambassador Kendall stood at the human podium, her posture relaxed yet commanding, while Roman positioned himself 3 steps behind her right shoulder. The traditional stance of a diplomatic guard across countless species. Council Director Zethmar's 4 eyes narrowed as he observed the human pair. Ambassador Kendall, his translator, rendered his clicking speech into standard galactic. This council notes with concern that your guard carries no visible weapons. Kendall smiled, the expression carefully neutral. That is correct, Director. This violates Protocol 7 of the Diplomatic Security Standards. Interjected Representative Quelix, her crystalline form refracting light in agitated patterns. All guards must display their armaments clearly. It prevents misunderstandings, ensures proportional response capabilities. Humanity respectfully disagrees with that protocol, Kendall replied. We believe Roman's presence provides adequate security. A wave of confused chirps, clicks, and electromagnetic pulses rippled through the chamber. The Vexler delegate, a massive creature resembling an armored crustacean, leaned forward. You send an unarmed primate to protect your ambassador. This is either profound arrogance or profound stupidity. Roman didn't react. He never did. His eyes continued their methodical scan of the chamber per galleries, side entrances, the ventilation grates, then back to Kendall. Every 8 seconds, the same pattern. Kendall had watched him do it for 3 years across a dozen worlds. Neither arrogance nor stupidity, Kendall said. Simply confidence in our personnel selection process. Zathmar's mandibles clicked in what the translator software couldn't quite capture, somewhere between dismissal and curiosity. The council voted to allow this irregularity as a gesture of goodwill toward the newest member species. However, we trust you understand that if any security incident occurs, full responsibility rests with humanity. Yes, Director, we understand. The session proceeded through standard diplomatic tedium trade negotiations, border disputes, resource allocation debates. Kendall navigated each topic with practiced skill, aware that every word was being analyzed by the Council's most sophisticated linguistic algorithms, searching for weakness or deception. 3 hours into the session, the lights failed. Emergency illumination flickered on immediately, bathing the chamber in harsh red light. Kendall felt, rather than saw, Roman move closer, his presence suddenly more tangible. Around the chamber, guards from various species activated weapons. Plasma rifles materialized from Quelix's crystalline matrix. The Vexler's biological armor sprouted barbed projectile launchers. The Catherine delegates' energy shields hummed to life. Remain calm, Zathmar announced, though his voice carried an edge. This appears to be a technical malfunction. The explosion cut him off. The blast originated from the upper western gallery, sending chunks of decorative stone raining down onto the delegates below. Its screams erupted in a dozen languages. Through the smoke, figures dropped from the damaged gallery, 6 of them, moving with predatory grace. Assassins, Kendall's mind supplied. Even as her diplomatic training kept her expression neutral, the attackers wore adaptive camouflage suits and wielded weapons Kendall didn't recognize. They moved toward the council director's platform with clear purpose. Around the chamber, diplomatic guards responded with their various armaments: energy bolts, kinetic projectiles, even a contained plasma burst from the Quelix guard. None of it mattered. The assassins' suits absorbed or deflected everything. They were 20 meters from Zathmar and closing fast. Then Roman moved. Kendall had seen him practice in the embassy gym, had watched him complete his daily routines with monastic dedication, but she'd never seen him deploy. There was no wasted motion. Roman closed the distance to the nearest assassin in 3 strides. Impossibly fast for someone who'd been standing still a heartbeat before. His hand struck the assassin's neck with surgical precision. The attacker dropped, the weapon clattering from nerveless fingers. The second assassin managed to turn, weapon rising. Roman was already inside its arc, one hand redirecting the barrel away while his elbow drove into the attacker's solar plexus. The assassin's helmet cracked against the marble floor. The remaining 4 assassins recognized the threat, converging on Roman with coordinated precision. This should have been his end: 1 unarmed human against 4 heavily armed professionals with military-grade equipment. Instead, it was a masterclass in human combat evolution. Roman used their weapons against them, redirecting a plasma bolt into one attacker, while simultaneously using that same attacker's body as a shield against incoming fire. He moved through their formation like water, finding angles that prevented them from firing without hitting each other. When he struck, each blow targeted nerve clusters, joints, pressure points, biological weaknesses that no armor could fully protect. 47 seconds after the first assassin dropped, the last one joined his companions on the floor. The chamber was silent except for the ragged breathing of shocked delegates. Roman returned to his position 3 steps behind Kendall's right shoulder, resuming his methodical scan pattern. His knuckles were slightly reddened. Otherwise, he appeared unchanged. Zathmar stared, all 4 eyes wide. What was that? Kendall allowed herself a small smile. That, Director, was approximately 200,000 years of evolutionary pressure. Humans evolved as persistence predators on a death world. We chased prey until they collapsed from exhaustion. We developed pattern recognition sophisticated enough to track animals across days of terrain. We learned to kill creatures far larger and stronger than ourselves, using nothing but our minds and bodies. She gestured to Roman. Our diplomatic guards don't need weapons. Director, because they are weapons. Every human carries within them the accumulated knowledge of countless generations of survivors. Roman has trained in 17 martial disciplines, studied human anatomy and alien biology for 8 years, and can process tactical situations faster than most species' combat computers. Quelix's crystalline form pulsed with confused colors. But weapons are more efficient, more powerful. Weapons can be detected, confiscated, neutralized, Kendall replied. Countermeasures can be developed, but you can't confiscate evolution. You can't detect training and experience, and you certainly can't develop countermeasures against an opponent who can adapt in real time, who can learn from every exchange, who brings creativity and intuition that no program can match. The Vexler delegate's armor plates shifted nervously. This is terrifying. Yes, Kendall agreed quietly. We've always known humans were terrifying. That's why we work so hard at diplomacy. Roman's eyes continued their pattern. Upper galleries, side entrances, ventilation grates, then back to Kendall. Every 8 seconds, the council would debate revised protocols for weeks. They would commission studies on human combat capabilities, develop new threat assessment matrices, argue about the implications for galactic security. But they would never again question why human diplomatic guards needed no visible weapons. They had learned what the rest of the galaxy would eventually understand. Humanity's greatest weapons weren't the tools they carried. They were themselves.